What is going on, Facebook? This is your boy Big Mar with the Black Bitcoin Billionaires Club, and it is so good to be with you here this morning for the Genesis block. We are here with my man, of course, Bitcoin Zay King Bless from Gentlemen of Crypto, and you know how we get down, man. We start this thing off by making sure that everybody gets the news first, and then we discuss a topic so that we can all talk about it up here with all of our whole stage full of experts. How y'all doing, experts, man? How's everybody doing up here, man? Y'all can just shout out for a second.
Amazing.
Good stuff. So Zay, you ready, man?
All set, baby. All set.
Yeah, do your thing, bro. Do your thing.
That's good. Well, yeah, Gentlemen of Crypto, we are on 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. And today, our topics were, for one, the Ripple people may have a lifeline. It looks as though the SEC lawsuit may have a couple of bombshells that the judge basically stated that XRP could be determined as a currency and not a security. So at that point, the lawsuit wouldn't even apply to the SEC, so Ripple may get off. That was sort of reflected in the 15% jump we saw overnight. So we discussed that on the show. One of the biggest things that happened today as well was the Coinbase lawsuit, which I'll let King get into with the CFTC.
Yeah, so the CFTC came after Coinbase. Also, we believe that's the reason why they are holding off their IPO for another month. They came after them for basically selling and trading their own cryptocurrency and others' cryptocurrency at the same time, of course, servicing everybody. That was from the years 2015 to 2018, the years they were charged with. They had to pay a $6.5 million fine, which is a drop in the bucket since they're expecting a $100+ billion IPO. Again, that was slated for the end of this month, but now they're moving into next month. I think they're doing that to let this talk of fine lay off at first before they go back to the IPO phase.
Yep, and following that story, another last interesting story was with Microsoft. Microsoft, who's been accepting Bitcoin since 2014, actually had a poll to their Xbox users for option to pay with Bitcoin within gaming apps. So that is, something that we've always said, that gamification will make Bitcoin and maybe even NFTs very popular. So we discussed that as well on the show. And I think Microsoft, even though Bill Gates won't speak about Bitcoin, he's still going to accept it, just like Peter Schiff. So we all know how they really feel. But yes, that was the show this week. And if you tune in Monday through Friday at 10 a.m., we're actually giving away 100,000 Satoshis. We didn't get to give away yesterday with Lamar because we ran out of time. So yes, if you tune in, we'll be giving that away this week. So tune in, watch us there, and Talk Shop Live on Sundays at 6.
Hey, thank you, Gentlemen of Crypto, man. We appreciate it. Listen, you hear these gentlemen say they're trying to give away 100,000 Satoshis. Well, that's going to get you a little bit closer to becoming a Satoshi millionaire. So this is what I want to tell you guys. We have a Satoshi Millionaire Challenge going on. We're trying to get as many black families as we possibly can to own at least 1 million Satoshis. 1 million Satoshis is equivalent to 0.01 Bitcoin. And right now, that is probably about $575, I believe, based on what the current market price is. So you can become a Satoshi millionaire with just a little bit of savings, put back a little bit of your crab money, some of your crab leg money that you're using, your bingo money. If you're going to the fish tables, put that money to the side and get you a little bit of this Bitcoin, man, so we can get you into this new revolution of money. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys for sharing the news with us. And I think the very first thing I want to talk about are stocks that deal in Bitcoin, because we have this question all the time. People are like, should we buy the stock that is with Bitcoin, or should we buy the Bitcoin itself, the underlying asset? So I'm bringing this up because Coinbase, of course, we see that they're in the news for some insider trading. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about Coinbase in particular first. Do you all think that this insider trading is prevalent? Do you think it happens all over the place, or do you think it's just an incident that happened with Coinbase? What do y'all think about it?
No, I think
this is all the time.
They all the time like doing insider trading, especially because they don't privy everybody to the information that they know, so they know what the market is going to do. So they're like, well, if I tell my homie like, yo, Bitcoin is going to do this, you might want to go ahead and go in on this trade with it. Yeah, man, they've been doing this for a long time.
Nah, everybody else.
Yeah,
Y'all want to talk?
We saw Roger Ver actually say that insider trading isn't actually illegal, and he was a part of the listing on Coinbase with Bitcoin Cash, where Coinbase went down for like a week, and a small group of people made like 200-300% off Bitcoin Cash, that little pump, and then once users got back on, it got dumped on. So I saw this. Me and King saw this 2017. This is nothing new. And then in the regular financial market, come on, man, how many lawsuits do you have to see? Insider trading is a part of the game. It's just about who's getting caught.
You know what I find funny? I find funny that now they got hit up with this, and aren't they supposed to go public as well, Isaiah? And just to comment on what you were saying about Xbox taking Bitcoin, but see, Microsoft has they have Engine, so I'm surprised they would even take Bitcoin to not try and shield their own thing.
Yeah, the Coinbase route. Shield your own coins and then list them, or shield coins and then list them on there. That's insider trading to me. I mean, that's pretty regular if you know.
But yeah, I know. But see, they're also supposed to go public soon, aren't they? So isn't Coinbase supposed to go public? So there you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now, won't that hurt them? So you got this lawsuit. Whether it's a true lawsuit, frivolous, it doesn't matter. Would that hurt the IPO?
Well, I think that's why they're waiting the month. That's what I was saying. They're waiting the additional month to try to let this like kind of die off. This stench of that CFTC summon, it sounds like, and then the eventual fine. That is why, because they're supposed to go public essentially this week. At the end of this week, they're supposed to be going public. So they switched that to next month. And I'm thinking they're doing that so this can kind of wear off.
Yeah, they just had to pay the tithe real quick. The CFTC.
Now, Isaiah, you were saying that Xbox users, because I use Xbox, can I use Bitcoin? But I don't understand why they would do that when they created Engine Coin. This engine token or whatever that was supposed to be used for gaming or developers to make games.
Exactly. I think that may be their it was a question, so it may be just their entry point to introduce Engine. That's what I'm thinking. But you're right. I wouldn't use Bitcoin. I wouldn't pay Xbox anything with my Bitcoin. Engine would probably.
I'm with Bitcoin. It's an entry point. So Engine isn't totally a bigger project for the entire space. I mean, as far as gaming goes. So that's a bigger long-term project that's going to continue to make developments. As far as accepting it, the thing they put out was like a 4-question questionnaire from what we saw on the Reddit and tweets. It was a 4-question questionnaire. And on the third question, they said, what other payment option would you like to add? And on the drop-down box, it was already a drop-down box of selections, and they had Bitcoin there. If you were to have Engine there, the majority of people wouldn't know what that was. If they're not already into cryptocurrency or into gaming, which, of course, Xbox users should be, but a lot of them still won't know what the Engine is or the project. So I'm assuming that's why they did. Bitcoin is the main one that everyone knows. They can accept it readily and easily. And then from there, they can start unrolling things like Engine and all the other stuff.
Well, look, hold on. Let's go back to the initial topic because I know a lot of people want to talk about that. We're talking about Coinbase, insider trading, and then stocks that have Bitcoin. So let's go back to that real quick because we'll get to the Engine stuff with Microsoft. Yeah, ain't no thing, Gabriel, man. It's your first time on stage, bro. You rip the card to the right, we try and go to the left. You feel me? So yeah, I know that a lot of people try to speak up at that time. I want to hear what everybody has to say. So yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say real quick, Lamar, just regarding that. I'm heavy into the Riot, the Mara. They got a new one called Hive. These are all crypto stocks that you can get in. And, I've been able to successfully make some money, not only the stocks, but also the options. So I definitely like the recommendation of playing both. Get the crypto, but also get the different companies that deal directly into either the mining or distribution or those things.
You know what I think, man? I think it's amazing that, that this question keeps coming up, and it's like people are overthinking, right? They have all of these equities that are trying to come up off of Bitcoin when, really we could just grab Bitcoin itself, right? The barrier of entry is a lot lower, right? You don't have to have a broker, right, to get into the market. So it's just funny to me that people keep saying I don't see why they have so much faith in the stock market when you can just buy Bitcoin. It's just crazy.
Because people still want their handheld, man. At the end of the day, brother, people still want their handheld. institutions know that it's an early enough time that we can still try to, because I think Eric said it best, a lot of people still want to capitalize. How can I still capitalize as an institution? And when you still have fear, you still have business. So it doesn't make sense, but it does. And like I always say, once time goes on and people's consciousness, increases, they'll see like, damn, I could have just been doing this the whole time, but their money might already be tied up. So,
But I don't know, man. That's the thing. Like, as time goes on, I don't know that their conscience will increase if they keep, buying into that system, right?
Well, you gotta look at it like, if I'm not getting the full gain and my friends are getting the full benefit of Bitcoin, that's gonna start tapping in.
Well, the other thing that you all have to think about is the advisors are the ones that are advising people, and if they send them straight to buy Bitcoin, they're not going to get any of their commissions. So they're putting these funds so they can make sure that they get their piece of the pie.
Yeah, that's what we had Lecrae at Club Quavo this weekend, and he was saying that his financial advisor doesn't want to tell him about Bitcoin for that exact reason, and that's what we told him. When the financial advisor gives you the Bitcoin play, it X's them out of the equation, so they don't even get to make any money because you don't need a middleman when you use Bitcoin.
That's why you have to be very careful about advisors that make money on commission for the things they sell you, because they're not really advisors at that point, are they? They're more salespeople.
Advertising.
Exactly. They've been that from the beginning. That's why I was just disgruntled with that system. But all of the NFL and NBA players that we've been dealing with lately, that's the issue we've been facing, because their brokers and agents want them to go through Grayscale or some of these other ones instead of just dealing directly and buying Bitcoin. So it's been a little bit of a hindrance. It's actually been quite hard to get them to buy Bitcoin all by themselves, because they're just so used to listening to them.
I'm about to say, it's a traditional thing. It's like a way of them keeping their money in their circle. I'm not going to let you go take all this money outside of my circle, because that is how we eat as far as the financial advisor side. If they're taking these NFL players, these athletes directly into Bitcoin, then they basically cut their salary out. So it only makes sense for them not to lead people to freedom, because they wouldn't be able to eat off of the people no more.
All I gotta say is that's all out my pocket, man. Get your hand out of my pocket.
That's all insider trading. That literally is insider trading. Like you said, these advisors keep the money flowing into the same stocks and same portfolios from the companies that basically keep them afloat. So they all just hand the money to each other within the same circle. Yeah, you're definitely right, Clay.
And then from an investor point of view too, is a lot of that is a lot of people, again, a lot of professionals coming over from different industries. They all want to mitigate risk. They all want to get rich overnight, but they don't want no risk involved. And I think that is why you're starting to see like the stocks or the companies that are investing in Bitcoin blowing up, because they're almost saying that, hey, you can still buy it, but it's with less risk. But what people aren't realizing is that you don't have the underlying asset. You're getting paid in fiat currency. You're going to get your money back in dollars. So you're essentially still out of the game. And who knows how much you're going to get back. You can say how many shares, whatever you have. But again, even with companies being public, we have seen time and time again from the fines that they would still do nefarious things on the back end. So if you're just giving them upfront money and they're buying Bitcoin on the back end, they can go margin trade that 100 times and give you a little percentage back and keep the rest.
Do you all think that there is an advantage to hedging your crypto investments with correlating stocks, such as like Marathon, Riot? I think BT is another one, because it seems like the revenue or the profit that those companies make is directly related to the Bitcoins that they mine. So if, Marathon or someone like that is going to win the hash war for 2022, and we know that their profit is going to be directly related to how much Bitcoin they mine, doesn't it seem like, that might be like a decent hedge? Because it almost seems like you make not more, but it just seems like, why wouldn't you invest in the picks and the shovels if you're going to be investing in gold? If that makes sense.
Quick question. Quick question. Who is that speaking? Because I can't. I'm over trying to run everything. Who is that speaking so I can put a plaque?
I think that's D right there.
Who invited him up?
I did. My bad.
Ain't no problem. I just need to make sure I get the name on here so we know who's speaking. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go ahead. Answer that question, you guys.
Yeah, so I would personally say if you're talking about mining stocks, to me that's a little bit different. When I first heard stocks, I'm thinking like Grayscale Bitcoin Trust type of deal, where it's like, hey guys, we're buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever else for you. If you're talking about mining stocks, and yeah, that is a different part of the ecosystem to me. And I think that is, I mean, I think today a story came out that mining stocks are up as far as percentage gain. So I agree, mining stocks are a good way because you're buying into the mining ecosystem, not just the big underlying asset of Bitcoin. So that makes sense to me. But if you're actually going after stocks or stuff that has to do with just Bitcoin or just Ethereum or just Litecoin, those don't make sense to me. But if you're talking about, like you said, the picks and shovels, whether it's mining or computing power or whatever it is that can be offered as stock, then those are more agreeable.
The only thing I said,
what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, only thing I'm saying about mining stocks though is that we have to be very careful to not think that they're going to get all of these Bitcoin, right? Because mining still is something that you have to have so much power to even increase the probability, but it is not you're not insured to get that many Bitcoin just because you're mining, right? And then you're also adding an additional layer. I think Fred always talks about it. You're adding an additional layer of risk in between because now you have to trust their management. You got to trust their operations. You got to trust all the other stuff just to get access to an entity that is mining Bitcoin, when it's so much easier just to buy the underlying asset of Bitcoin itself without all the additional risk. Like, why add more risk to get the same exposure? You know what I mean?
Right.
If you research, I want to know something. What are you hedging against? Like, if you're choosing to go the fiat route to invest in these companies, what are you truly hedging against? What are you hedging against?
I just feel like it's if you've done your research. Now, this isn't just if you're throwing money at something, but if you've done your due diligence and research to kind of figure out what companies are going to have a significant position in, the mining battle or the mining war, it just seems to me from a fundamental profit perspective, why wouldn't you? I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't. It's just in my mind, it literally boils down to me, if there's going to be a gold rush, why wouldn't I invest in the companies that are dealing with the tools as well as the actual asset?
So I just want to ask one more. So you're looking at it as a profit in fiat, correct?
No, I'm looking at it as a profit. Now, I'm not saying I would just keep that fiat. I'm looking at it more as, okay, you make money and then you can put that money into crypto, or you can invest that money. Like, I'm of the mind to take my profits and invest them back into crypto. For example, if I make profit in an altcoin, I'll take that and I'll put it back into Bitcoin. If I make profit on Riot or Marathon, I'll take that profit and put it back into Bitcoin. Does that make sense?
I mean, I hear what you're saying now. I mean, that's, I hear where you're coming from, and that works, brother.
So I get what Bitcoin Vegan's saying too. Is for me, I'm not sure the price of some of these stocks as far as the mining ones. I don't look into it, but if you're strictly doing this for profit, like, hey, where's the best place to send my money? Then I haven't seen many places in the traditional stock market that outperform the crypto market. So if you're saying I'm gonna do my due diligence and all that, well, if you're gonna do your due diligence, there's some altcoins out there that'll give you a 10x, and you can put that back into Bitcoin. So
I'm invested in those also. I have a significant altcoin portfolio.
Okay,
yeah.
here's
and just to D's point, what I was trying to say earlier. I mean, I bought Riot, at $9. I bought Mara at $8. I mean, look where they are now. I mean, they speak for themselves in terms of there. I'm looking at Hive because that's about $3 at this point, and you can buy the options on them, which they have a whole bunch of options that are coming due this week. I don't know if you read the articles about that. Because a lot of people have hedged on what they thought Bitcoin was going to do. But it's a direct correlation between that. You can do a lot more with those stocks, too, because you can do what's called cover calls, and there's some other things. I don't want to get too technical in that way. But my point of it is a direct correlation to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going up. You're making a ton of money on both sides. So I just think something to definitely consider.
Just diversification.
Exactly.
What happens when some of these stocks at a certain point they're looking for liquidity, and that liquidity is in Bitcoin, and then you end up cashing out in Satoshis? You had the opportunity to get more earlier. I mean, but I hear the diversification. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, but I think some of the argument is that Bitcoin is the basket. So it's like the liquidity you're looking for long term. That's why I think some people think Bitcoin will be. So as an investment, I see that side, but also long term, if you're just going to turn it back into Bitcoin anyway, you could start with buying more of a percentage now than 10 years from now. You could cash out and make a lot of money, but then it's a less percentage of the Bitcoin supply. So I don't know. It depends what you're doing, but I understand the strategy for now.
Yeah, I hear them. It's just the fact that you always have the opportunity to get more Bitcoin when you have the opportunity to get it, and the timing of you're making money, you're making fiat with the company that you have invested in, but that money is not appreciating with the rate of Bitcoin. So, that's how I always look at how much Bitcoin can I buy. So I'm not saying you have to have that mentality, but if I already have the money to buy Bitcoin, and it already has a purpose for me it's a better usage of me to put it in Bitcoin. I don't really see the point in buying the picks and shovels when I can easily just buy the gold.
That makes sense. I was just
dividends,
a different perspective. I see
and dividends too. Yeah, I would say too from stocks that follow Bitcoin's price. Like Riot, for example, did a 20x in a year. Actually beat out the Bitcoin. Like stock dividends, I can see that for the use case when people say investing in the stocks that follow Bitcoin's price.
Well, I'm not really sure if Riot pays dividends, but to your point, that was the example I was trying to make. The 20x in relation to the Bitcoin performance over the year. So it was just just a point of view. But I see both sides, definitely.
True.
So I've got a third perspective on this one. I still am invested in the stock market. It only makes up 10-15% of my portfolio. But when I'm looking at companies that in the stock market that are invested in Bitcoin, I personally am not looking for picks and shovels. I'm kind of where if I'm going to get invested in Bitcoin, I'm just going to buy the underlying asset at this point in time. But when it comes to other companies that are on the stock market that are looking at investing in Bitcoin, whether that's putting it on their balance sheet or whether or not I think that their business model will be able to integrate Bitcoin in a profit and loss strategy in the future, that's where I am still holding some investments in the stock market and where I see I might have the potential to generate additional alpha on top of Bitcoin. So that's just me personally.
Yeah, the way I see it is if you are invested in Forex or other currencies right now, you most of us already have our eggs in one basket in the sense where if you have stocks, if you have businesses and everything is based off of USD, essentially you kind of are investing into one type of currency, and Bitcoin is a completely different type of currency. So unless you're in the Forex or you're trading other currencies or have other different types of monetary value, you kind of do have all your eggs in one basket because you're counting on USD to stay around.
Yeah, the other part is if all of your gains are in USD, you're basically hoarding an asset that is depreciating in and of itself. So if you're getting more and more gains and you're like, oh yeah, that I made an additional $400 today, but that $400 looks like really, you get the purchasing power of $200, then and Bitcoin is steadily just holding value and storing value, then the more you're in these assets that have USD, you're running the risk of not being able to catch back up with the Bitcoin, kind of like what Bitcoin Zay was saying. So it looks really cool to see those those gains in dollar value, but if you're looking at it over a long period of time, you got to think about those assets that are actually are going to actually return you back with the Bitcoin. You're going to be able to have more Bitcoin in the future than you have now. So some of them works out well, but the timing is the hardest part, man. Like the time, because here's the problem: you make 10x on your asset, and human psychology sometimes get in the way, and you go, well, shoot, I made 10x, I'm gonna make another 10x, and markets don't always work like that, and so then you get stuck holding on to this asset. It takes off downward, and the same time it's going down, Bitcoin's taking off upward because of the whole idea of inflation and everything like that. And when you try to jump back into Bitcoin, the train has left, and you're farther back on the train. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, all of these things are really cool. And listen, I dibble and dabble in a lot of different things outside of the Bitcoin space, but it's still like you got to make sure you're weighing your costs. There's opportunity cost to everything, and once you start realizing that, then I can see getting into some of these other things. Like Greg, you evidently done came up on some Riot, huh?
Also, Lamar, I want to add
I was trying to hit the button and I hit escape. That was crazy. yeah. No, that's all I was saying was that, soon as I heard, because of my belief in Bitcoin and stuff, I was like, yo, this makes sense. And I do stocks already, right? So, and I do options. So I say, let me jump on this. Man, that's been the smartest thing. There's a guy on YouTube that his goal is to go from 40,000 to 1 million this year, just doing Riot cover calls and puts and sells. That's crazy when you think about it. Let me give you some facts. And he's been doing it live on YouTube, so we get to see every week what's going on. He has literally turned in 5 weeks. He's turned $40,000, or is it 40? Did he start 5 weeks ago? I don't know if it was 5 weeks, maybe 4. It's either 4 or 5 weeks ago. He's turned 40 into 136,000. Now, of course, that's still fiat, right? But the point is, and he's buying. His goal is to buy Bitcoin, of course. But think about that for a second. That's pretty incredible. And his goal is to get to 1 million. We'll see if he gets there. But if he gets anywhere close, I mean, that's going to be incredible. And then he puts that money into Bitcoin. I mean, to me, that's a win-win.
Right, and that was kind of my point. The inflation, the rate that the dollar is inflating in correlation to like the time or the window in which you can potentially profit. To me, I think there's such a gap in between that even though in theory, yes, the dollar is decreasing in value, if you're doing 40-50% in a few months, that's still a decent window of percentage of profit to be able to slide back in without losing too much value in your dollar. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
I think it goes down to what
if that price goes parabolic on you. Believe me,
exactly. Imagine having the chance to buy one Bitcoin now, and then 10 years you make say 500K, but one Bitcoin is worth like 10 million. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you make money, but you miss everything that happened with Bitcoin because remember they correlate with the stock.
Right. So this is me saying this in theory of like what the gentleman was saying. You putting that money back in. Like, I'm not saying you would hold the 500,000 for 10 years or a year. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, as you realize that profit, you're putting it back into Bitcoin at a consistent rate, whether that's every month, every couple weeks. That's what I'm saying.
But here's the issue. I don't think
taxes every time too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you got taxes. Yeah, capital gains taxes. But here's the thing: I don't think everyone's thinking about. And we talk about this with my man Jay Gold over in Digital Gold. Jay Gould and Digital Gold, excuse me. He talks about the 10-year treasuries, right? When that 10-year treasury gets up to about 2%, which it's like the risk-free treasury, right? It's risk-free. Then what happens to other assets? People tend to take their money out because it's a lot easier for them to get a guaranteed 2%, right? And so my question is always, when we're getting close right now, is at what? The 10 years at 1.7. So when it gets to 2%, like, are all the assets going to drop? And then I was like, Jay, I asked Jay, I was like, Jay, what do you think about Bitcoin? You think it's going to do? He said, no asset will be safe. But I want to see, right? I really want to see, because I want to see if people who are in Bitcoin will remain in Bitcoin, because just like I saw the other day, I think 60% of people. 60% of the Bitcoin has not moved in the last 6 months or something like that. So a lot of people are holding, like super holding. So I want to see if people will sell off, even if the 10-year note goes to 2%. And if that happens, a lot of stocks are going to get hit, bro. Like, real talk. That's just how it works. So it's like, what if the stocks get hit and all of a sudden there is a inverse correlation between stocks and Bitcoin, and you're outside of the Bitcoin market? You get what I'm saying?
I will also say, Lamar, let's say it's a perfect world, and like whether stocks are perfect, everything works, crypto, everything is perfect, everything works. I think a lot of this is just coming to what people are comfortable with when it comes to diversification, because there are so many ways to diversify your portfolio in the crypto space now. This isn't, even 2016, 2017, like, you can stake things. There's some staking rewards now. Some master nodes are giving like 20% returns, 25% returns. You get the NFT game going off, regular trading, margin trading. So to me, it's like, I get what people are saying when they talk about the stock market, but just being in crypto is also, to me, like, the way it looks, especially when you talk about diversification. If it's about making profit, then it's like, well, maybe you just want to do something you're comfortable with, because from what I've seen, every day there's something new coming out in this space that can do it tenfold. You just have to do the due diligence and learn about whatever project or whatever it is. But there's always something popping up right now. So as far as diversification, I feel comfortable diversifying myself in the crypto ecosystem because I think crypto's here to stay. But I also get when people are just, again, want to be comfortable with what they know.
You know, I have a statement. You know, with all the products and all the stocks and even options or everything coming out, it appears we overcomplicated something that's simple, especially within Bitcoin. We love Bitcoin. We know it's going to last. It's already tested the time with 10 years. So why don't we just keep it simple and just, buy it, mine it, hold it, run a masternode, whatever it is, and just do it that way, as opposed to where it appears that greed, the psychological, focus of greed is like, I can make more money. But, even the turtle won the race against the rabbit. So,
yeah, I think that is a really good thing. Is to learn patience, right? Because this asset takes a little while. And I just read a comment on Facebook that said stocks to crypto is literally apples to oranges. This is Melissa McKnight Forney for everybody who's not on Facebook watching this. One market.
That's my point right there.
One market is fully instrumentally matured, limiting and a barrier to entry. The other is still in seed stage of development in the economic space, already outperforming the other asset. There is no greater performing asset than Bitcoin over the last 10 years. And it's annualized 200%. So if somebody can go in the stock market and get an annualized 200% return, then it might be worth it of playing around, right? Because another thing is that a lot of people who are getting into the market right now, into the stock market right now, are dealing with this incredible amount of inflation in the assets because of what happened with the pandemic and the stimulus of last year, right? And so a lot of these people who are quote unquote geniuses in the stock market right now are geniuses because of some outlier event that probably won't happen again in our lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So my question is, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now, it's like how Zay was, everybody's a genius in the bull market, but everybody's a genius in the bull market, but where y'all going to be in the bear?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
that's
Bitcoin,
what I'm saying.
Yeah, Bitcoin will stay valuable even if it's another Bitcoin winner. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, all of those other, everything else is just going to go back down the wayside. And then if you have your money, I feel like if that does happen, if you do have your money locked up in something else, you're going to be even more pissed because your money is going south. Bitcoin might be going south, and you can buy more Bitcoin. It's always a slippery slope when they just have any type of money.
Bitcoin is the only asset that people get happy when it goes down. So I think that's the difference in everything else. Everybody's excited when it goes down. Like, yes, we have parties.
You making a room if Bitcoin go down, we turning up.
Right.
Hey, and I have to add it again because it goes. Greg was talking about the guy on YouTube who taking 40,000, making $1 million for a year, I guess, on the Riot and stuff, blockchain, or the Riot stock. But we tell people, like, if you really look at this market, especially right now when it's volatile, Bitcoin, Zay and I was talking this morning about a new exchange, you're doing margin trading, all that. Like, yeah, you can turn, like, in this market, you can turn 40K into a mil very quickly. Just over again, just to prove to myself I can do it, I just pull it out and put 4,000 into the account and turn that into something crazy because this is the market. So again, I think people are just doing what they're comfortable with and being comfortable sometimes and saying, hey, I know the stock market, I know this stuff, I'm going to sit here. But as far as, again, Bitcoin is 12 years old, the cryptocurrency space is extremely new and is still outperforming or keeping up with almost every stock out there. So again, for me, it's just more about learning more about the crypto ecosystem because this is where it's at.
Yeah, I'm like that with King in the sense that, like, diversifying incomes in USD is normally buying bonds, buying stocks. You might want to have a business that creates USD. You might go and get a college degree so that you can then work and accumulate USD. But now we have a whole new financial system. So we just need to take that diversification that we were doing with the USD and apply it now to the Bitcoin. So instead of buying bonds, now maybe we can stake. Instead of buying stocks, we can buy
exactly.
That's the whole thing. It's a new financial system. So let's just apply the same diversification we did with USD now with the crypto.
Big facts, big facts. And one thing that I'll say, right, when it comes to staking, a lot of people, they buy REITs, right, real estate investment trusts for the dividends or dividend aristocrats. You have things that are very similar to that in the crypto space, right, that pay you passively, whereas you don't even need to also use centralized finance, right, which a lot of people are starting to use now, whether it's the Nexos or the Celsius. You can still self-custody, right? Make sure that you own whatever crypto that you have and then still reap the rewards from it. Something that you all mentioned earlier, and I said that's a lot heading into 2021. 2020 makes every person in the stock market looks like a legend. 2021 is going to make some of those same legends look like losers because too many people have been focused on making profit, but not the process. And the process was real easy in 2020. You can throw your money at anything due to the Black Swan event, right? Due to the pandemic. But now people are really having to deal with market cycles, the rotations, different things of that nature, especially trading psychology. So 98% of people
that's exactly what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, 98% of people that trade fail, right? And this is coming from a person that trades and teaches people how to trade. So, I mean, we see it all the time too, right? When it comes to leverage trading, people accounts get liquidated on the downside or either to the upside too, right? Because whales can make things happen. Institutions can come in as well. So it's just one of these things where it's easy to hold Bitcoin, best performing asset over the past decade. And even when you're playing some of these proxy plays, right, and doing covered calls, those strategies can be real risky. So to the gentleman that's doing it right on YouTube, whatever, significant large account size. But if Mara or Riot or any of these things really crash, right, because people rotate out of it and say, hey, let me actually own Bitcoin because these companies, they can do a reverse, they can do a split, right? And then boom, boom, boom. What does that look like? Or they can offer more shares. What impact is that going to have? He gets called. That meal that he might be sitting on might go down to zero, right? For real, if they're over leveraging. So a lot of people just have to manage the risk.
And the money that goes to zero with that stock won't be the same as the money you have in Bitcoin going to zero.
Oh, that's a fact, bro, because you don't own the underlying. Well, I mean, in his case, if he's doing covered positions, he actually owns the underlying versus people that are doing margin calls and stuff like that outright. They don't own the underlying position. So then you are left with nothing, you know, versus a person that has their Bitcoin. They at least have something, even if price drops, right? Continue the dollar cost, lower your average, call it a day. Even people that bought at the high of 2018, right? Still looking lovely right now.
They could be left with less than nothing.
And here's the crazy
with those options.
Yeah, here's the crazy part.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Here's the crazy part. Like isn't much you have to learn to actually get into Bitcoin. Like once you understand Bitcoin, it's real easy to go to Cash App, Swan, Gemini or something, and just hit the button and say, I want to buy this every single week. And leave it alone, set it and forget it, right? So for the average individual, they can actually store their additional cash, their off cash, their crab leg cash. They can store that into Bitcoin very, very simply. When you start getting into options and covered calls and all of this other stuff, believe me, I have a finance degree. I understand that stuff, right? And it can be difficult for the average individual to get that. They would have to go take a class, and that's more investment they got to put in. And then, and like Ryan just said, you put that investment in, and then you still are probably going to be in the 95th percentile of people who don't make money doing it. So the easy thing to do is just go get you some Bitcoin and chill. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Like
it's so easy and that's definitely my point. Why don't we just keep it simple, especially when we're educating people? Because they supposedly say 20% or less actually understand what Bitcoin and blockchain do. You know, when we talk about Bitcoin, we take some money. We call, we do our CDA, our cost daily cost average or whatever. We save some, and then we mine it for whatever passive income and security, and we run nodes. And those are like the three simplest things. And it just appears that now, because I guess it's just too simple, we want to overcomplicate everything. Now we want to, people are seeing they can do this in their method, whether it's I can make stocks based off of Bitcoin, or we're gonna, institution is gonna buy Bitcoin and then convince people to buy Bitcoin through them, even though they can get it, on their own. I think we overcomplicate it, and I think it hurts when we try and educate everyone else about how simple Bitcoin is because they hear all this crap.
Yeah, that's back to what I said from the beginning, man.
This is what I got to tell the podcast, man. The Pump It X, he said, what made it so easy? I'm like, man, the fact that I did not have to go through all this shit. Like, even hearing all of what you guys are saying, it just gives me a headache to buy. It doesn't make it, it's like the worst, it would be the worst sales pitch ever. It doesn't make it easy to buy. Bitcoin was easy to buy, and people really downplay the ease it is to buy because we want to make things hard. We want to hurry up and break something. But it's so easy to just buy something and keep it moving and allow it to do what it to do.
And that's why I just mine it. And that's why I'm like, my investment, I bought some miners, that'll give me my super long term, and any residual income that I can afford, I'll buy it. Because obviously buying Bitcoin is a whole lot easier than mining the crap, and it's way cost effective and efficient, and you can automatically see it there. But I think long term, especially when all the Bitcoin is mined, you still need miners for some passive income in those transactions. So I think really the long haul is just simplistic mining instead of trying to like average stock options and stuff.
Well, listen,
but I think that we do that. We make it easy for folks in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning that open up, and there are some people that are commuting from their job to their home. And in the first 5 minutes, I'm sending them over to Cash App, and I'm onboarding them from Cash App. And I get people every day in my inbox to say, "Thank you. That's all I needed was to just be able to go and purchase it, or be able to go in dollar cost average." And that's what we do both with the Crypto Virgin Hour and with Bitcoin Basics.
And I definitely see that, Doctor. So don't get me wrong when I say we as I be. And I guess I'm taking the world perspective. If we took something so easy and now we overcomplicated about how do we earn? Well, if you just stick to like I guess the core, crypto commandments or whatever you want to call them, and just keep it simple. Like in the Army we say, keep it simple, stupid. If we keep it to that. I think it's especially easier for those beginners because we are going to get those questions like, okay, now I understand Bitcoin. What else should I do with it? Nothing. Hold it.
Really
Sit
quick.
on it.
Yeah, really quick. Danette on Facebook said, sometimes it's just hard. I'm not going to say that word out loud, but sometimes it's just hard. And then she said, sometimes it's just worth it though, right? Sometimes the fact that if it is a little bit hard, maybe that's something that is worth you actually doing, so it adds some more value to you. You dig what I'm saying? But listen, we went over what I normally do. We do half an hour on one subject and then half an hour on another. But since this is rolling like it is and people are engaged on Facebook, let's keep it going. So here's my question. If you were, I'm going to ask this, and we hardly ever ask this. If you were a person that had $1,400 that just magically appeared into your bank account, dude,
I'm gonna ask the IRS if it's real.
It magically appeared in your bank account, or if you have kids, I think it's another $1,400. If that magically appeared in your bank account, what are you doing with that money? I want to ask every single one of you guys up here. What are you doing with your $1,400? Go ahead.
I'm going to Blue Flame.
Listen, for real, 700 to Bitcoin, or if you really want to just take care of the risk, put 1,000 to Bitcoin and the remainder to the altcoins. Those long shot picks, those are ones. And people laugh, but they already know, like, I can turn magic into magic. All right, you take a few $100, put them on some of those low price altcoins. Again, do your research, make sure you know what the roadmap looks like, who's the team, like solid projects still. Find some of those ones that are sleepers, and with that 400, you turn that back into the 1,400. Rinse, wash, repeat.
I just want to let y'all know, King Bless is an actor, so he could be just saying this to you to prepare for a role. He's an amazing actor at that, so he might just be.
It costs money to be a thespian. I wonder how I can keep it up.
My bad. Hey, so yeah, next person. Hey, I like that though. Listen, King Bless said he don't give a crap about what you talking about Bitcoin Maximum. He said he going 50% Bitcoin, 50% into some alts. So what y'all say? Let's go, man. Zay, what's going on?
Like I said, I'm going to Blue Flame.
Putting it all in the
air. All in it. Nah, Bitcoin. I'll just buy it, hold it. Really, I'm boring. I just want to buy Satoshis and just chill.
Man, You still there?
Yeah, we still here, man. Look, everybody got real quiet. Look.
I thought we
Listen, man, I'm taking.
were going in order because Trentino was next.
Hey, yeah, go ahead, Trentino. Let's go in order. Miss Nah just said we going in order. Let's go, Trentino. What you gonna do with it, man? Be honest too. Be honest. It's cool.
The first 500 I'm gonna put on Popeyes, and then
oh no,
I'm just playing.
Chicken sandwich.
Oh Lord,
chicken sandwiches for the hood. No, I'm probably gonna go into 50% of it going into, of course, Bitcoin, and then the rest go into some altcoins for sure.
Love that new sandwich, that new flounder sandwich at Popeyes. I might have to follow suit. But
Right. Flounder sandwich.
No, hold on. Y'all gonna have to stop up here promoting people. This is supported by Exodus, not Popeyes. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just teasing.
Shout out.
So check this out. I'm telling all my business. That's gonna let y'all know how many kids I have. But my $5,400 that appeared in my account, I put 100% in Bitcoin.
Oh, she already.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, Jacumi, what's up, man? What's happening? Hold on, I ain't say man. Look, I can't lead this conversation and not say man. So I'm gonna take $1,400, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn it into Bitcoin, and then I'm gonna put it into the Black Bitcoin Billionaires slush fund, the fund that we give money out to the other people for, so that we can keep doing this Satoshi Millionaire. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some Satoshi to give to some folks. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll donate a few sandwiches.
Go ahead, Jacumi, brother. What's going on? What you gonna do with your 1,400, man?
I was debating it, bro. I was gonna go to Magic City. Then I was like, maybe I need to go get a new suit. But then, you know what I thought? I'm gonna just put it in Bitcoin, bro.
Right. Plus, Blue Flame is better, man. Blue Flame is better. I was there.
Blue Flame is definitely better, but that's the thought process. You go through all the options, and then you're like, Bitcoin.
Ready?
You need to hit the Fox. That's what you need to do. Go to the Silver Fox.
Nah, bro.
The snooty Fox.
I need to stack my Satoshis
Silver
right now,
Fox.
brother. We'll do all of that in a couple of years.
Okay.
So
I just
Delayed gratification, brother.
Snooty.
So, Reddy, what you doing, the snooty fox? What you doing, Reddy?
Man, I'm just buying Bitcoin. It's easier, you know. I mean, in the past, I would have said like, oh, I'll take 1,200 and put it in Bitcoin, and then throw 200 on some random fucking altcoin. But now it's just so much easier to just buy Bitcoin and forget about it.
Man, okay. We already
That's
heard.
real.
We already heard from King. What about Justin, man? What you gonna do with yours, man? Listen, hold on. Before we go to Justin, I don't even think we gotta ask Justin what he gonna do. Justin gets offended when anybody buys anything but Bitcoin. Like Justin feels it in his soul and his body.
Yeah, he got mad at me for buying food. He was like, "You ain't buy Bitcoin." What you need food for?
Right.
But be a breatharian.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead, brother. What we doing with the money, man?
man, listen, man. So some of it's gonna go to the loan storage wallet. Some of it I'm gonna put on Lightning to just hold, so I can start, spending it when one Satoshi equal $1.
Oh, you throwing it on Lightning? Yeah, I forgot you be running your little nodes and stuff. Plus, we had a guy that came in here who was dedicated to Lightning, trying to figure out what he was going to do, and he realized he was making 4% a year return on his Bitcoin that he had on his Lightning network. To me, that sounds like a savings account. Matter of fact, you get more percentage on your Lightning nodes than you would in a savings account with Bitcoin and still get to hold them. So, Justin, you might be onto something, bro.
Well, I think Lightning nodes are good.
What
happened? Wi-Fi, man. Lightning. Wi-Fi, man. All this, everything. A lot of times I stay strong with Bitcoin is because the fact that as deep as folks go in other alts, you can go just as deep as Bitcoin, and you'll be there. You'll stay right on course with things. So, yeah. So I have Bitcoin. I have sats sitting on Lightning, ready to deploy whenever it equals 10 cents or $1 a sat. We're gonna start running.
That's what's up. What's up? What's up, Greg? Oh, I'm sorry. Who was that?
Sorry.
No, it was okay. I was going to say what Justin was saying. The Lightning Network is really awesome. It's not that hard to set up, whether you want to build it or you just buy it from like a company like Raspberry Blitz or whatever it is. You do earn. You can set your fee that you want to earn on the network for residual. You won't make as much as a miner, but that's not the point. And it's also something really good that commerce people, businesses, or anything else, and they use the node and they can see their transactions into whatever, and it's really good. I mean, in the simplistic of it, if you're going to run a node, I would run a Lightning.
He must have got a call or something.
I apologize.
We know Greg finna put his in the stock market.
Come on, man. How you play me like that? I'm about to see if I can mix it up for you a little bit. All right, so we got one or two options. If I get $1,200, which I ain't gonna get $1,200, but if I got $1,200 right now for the government, we doing one or two things. We either gonna go buy some Shea, Vitro, and Vet, because they going bananas right now, or we gonna go and we're gonna put that in the stock market and make about $100,000 in this next year, and then buy Bitcoin.
Hold on.
Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Most of my assets, all right, and my brother-in-law always gets on me about this, but most of my assets happen to be in Bitcoin. So just understand that.
Hey, hold on 1 second. But Greg, I just want to say this. So listen, anybody who goes to Greg's church and is a partitioner at his church, notice that he didn't say he was going to take 10% and put it in the church. He wasn't going to put it in tithes. Listen, I want y'all to hear that, man. Now, I'm just kidding with you, man, because look, I didn't say it either, but I would take 10%, put it in tithes, and then the rest of it's going to the black Bitcoin.
Oh, man. Just make your parishioners pay you $1,000 in Bitcoin.
Right.
Nothing but QR code.
Exactly.
Hey, Greg, I had to mess with you, bro, because
on the Lightning Network,
bring ye all of the tithes into the storehouse. That's what
in the storehouse, said the Lord. Yep, absolutely.
What y'all doing? Saying what y'all do with y'all. I had left for a second.
Man, Crypto Quavo, we gonna get to you, man. We at Josh right now. We having a good time trying to figure out what people would do with that magical $1,400 that the magician, the Wizard of Oz, happened to put into your bank account. What's going on, Josh? What you gonna do with that money, man?
Well, man, like as everybody in the club is aware, like it's more than just me and my household. So it's my wife, it's my kids, and whatnot. But as far as our kids go, that's already been stacked in sats as the day that we got it. And then as far as my wife and I go, we're holding on to that right now. We've invested in a couple LLCs in order to increase our Bitcoin earning potential, as well as just holding on to the rest, and it'll either get used on things that'll help us grow, or it'll get stacked in Bitcoin as well.
Man, okay. Sean, the beekeeper, are you going to go buy some more hives? That's the question.
No, I'm not buying no hives. I'm trying to get as much Bitcoin as possible. I got some debt that I'm trying to get rid of, but the main thing is trying to stack my Satoshi.
Stack. What's up, Terrence? Go ahead. Terrence, what you gonna do, man? Now listen, I know what's it called? Fuquoc? I know that's a beautiful place, man. You gonna get you a ticket back to Fuquoc?
You read my mind. I don't know how you do it, Lamar. But what I would do, I would say I buy Bitcoin every day, but I'll probably take a like a G and buy, just do a extra Bitcoin surge on my normal dollar cost averaging. And then I'll take the rest, like you were saying, and put it in my travel fund, because I like to, just see different destinations in the world. Wrestling, now over Fuquoc or Bali. So.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah, you hit me to Fuquoc. I had no clue about Fuquoc till you said something.
It's off the hook, especially for family. I am and it's economical too. So that's a good thing. I like economical vacations where you have good value. You don't have to break the bank, and and we I stack up every let's say every month on a periodic basis to make sure I'm never going to dip into my Bitcoin. So once I consider that bought, it's like bought, and I kind of forget about it because I don't want to look at it, don't want to touch it. So I have to use that fiat on the side.
Got you. Yeah, that's what's up, man. I'm gonna ask Granny. Granny, are you getting Biggie's greatest hits on vinyl? Is that what you gonna
Man.
do?
Good morning, everyone. You guys are gonna have to teach me what to do because the magician passed over me, and I don't understand it. Somebody's gonna have to help the sister out.
You just got to get a couple of kids that you put on your tax return.
No. Oh, no. I'm beyond that.
I got a couple you can adopt, Granny. You can have them. I'm gonna send them your way.
No, I'm too old.
Granny just tell the IRS
self-aside.
their mom wasn't doing them right.
If I were to get it, I would definitely stack it in Bitcoin.
Oh, that's what's up. What about you, CJ? Now listen, CJ is the smart guy, and I truthfully think he's gonna take his $1,400 and go hire some more accountants because tax season is a booger right now. So what you gonna do, man?
But it's funny you mentioned that. I actually already started hiring people before the 14. But now what I plan on doing is I plan on taking a page out of the Gentleman of Crypto's book, as well as Bitcoin Vegan, as well as Amar's book. So I'll be buying a computer with the camera so I can create classes under U.Sunjoin, and I'll also be creating like an accounting, like a daily accounting show, kind of like the Gentleman of Crypto, and then I'll be mining on the Raspberry Pi so I can stack some Bitcoin. So that's my way of diversifying. I'm not actually probably gonna buy any Bitcoin with it, but I'll be contributing to the Bitcoin atmosphere with it through the computer, the Raspberry Pi, and then the U.Sunjoin.
Ooh, talk your mess, CJ. Here's my thing. Did y'all hear CJ throw it in there? U.Sunjoin.com. That's where you go and get his classes. That's where you go get my class. That's where you go get hemp classes if you want to learn how to grow hemp. Hey, that's smooth right there. I would do the same thing a little bit, man. But I'm gonna take it and give it back to the Black Bitcoin billionaires. What's happening with you, Black Regal? What you gonna do now? Listen, Black Regal is newly freed. He's free, boss. He's free. He done got off the plantation. So I think Black Regal's gonna go get him some spinners. Matter of fact, we going all the way back to Voles. You gonna get some Voles for your car, man?
And get Broham.
Go get some.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna obviously buy some Bitcoin, and then I'll probably take some of it and put it into a dividend or something like that. And
bro, we buying something for the gym, bro. Stop playing. We gotta go work out.
I know, right? Black Regal gonna buy the gym.
Hey, we could definitely do that. You know, I'm gonna kill it in the gym. You know what I mean? I might charge you some Satoshis, but we could definitely get it.
Oh man,
I'm just gonna give you the stimmy check they gonna give me. That's all I'm gonna do. I ain't even about to come off nothing else.
What you say, bro?
I'm just gonna give you some of the stimmy check, and we just gonna keep it moving like that.
Hey, let's get it, bro. I'm with it.
Man, I need to get it in the gym as well, man. So shoot, now y'all got me over at diversifying my 1,400. Now I'm gonna have to go get a couple shake weights.
Shoot me 100, Lamar got you. I put the meal plan together and everything.
Oh, okay. That sounds like, hey, that's what's up, man. Throw the meal plan.
Is that $100 or 100 sats though?
Lamar, I thought 140 going to ties, man. What happened? You changing that tune now?
No, so I got 140 to Tides. I got 140 to Tides. I got to give 100 now to my man Black Regal. He said he gonna, you know what I'm saying, gonna take care of my meal plan. I thought I got that for free though, Black Regal. I thought we was homies. I thought you cared about my health.
I got you, bro, but like you still ain't came on my podcast, so I feel some type of way.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm coming, dog. I'm coming, bro. I'm coming.
Hey, Quavo was on that yesterday, man, so that one's gonna be coming out this week.
Oh, that's what's up. Well, listen, I know what Dr. Shaler gonna do. Dr. Shaler gonna take her whole 1,400 and go buy at least 3 Walter Beasley CDs and put them on rotate. That's what she gonna do. Now, tell her what you gonna do with your 1,400.
Curtis Mayfield greatest hit.
Right.
My whole 1,400 is going to weed. It's all going to weed.
No.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Let me grab a
dispensary. It's not exactly going to the plant weed because we also have a cultivation facility. But what I need like all of the weed stuff that people use. I don't smoke weed, but there's other things that people use like bowls and stuff like that. So I need to buy all of that for people to take pictures so that we can stock them in the dispensary.
Where you operate out of? You see how she'll play like she don't know what the paraphernalia is?
It's some stuff people be using. Some stuff.
Larry, where do you operate out of?
Bowl or something.
So our dispensaries, the first one is opening up around October, November. We have 3 of them that we're scheduled to open up here in Boston. So Boston, Massachusetts, and the same thing for the cultivation facilities in Boston.
She's over like, that thing they put this little water in, and then they put the I don't know what they call it.
Then they put Hawaiian punch with some ice in it.
Right, I don't know what that is. I don't know what they doing. It's a hookah or something. Is it a hookah? It's called a hookah.
Wait a minute. Do people smoke weed? I don't think they smoke weed through a hookah, do they?
Hey, some people do. Real talk.
Yeah, some people do.
Okay then.
People
All right.
smoke weed too.
Maybe I'll get one of those too.
Yeah, people smoke.
Do that Pepsi cans.
I was going to say
TV and foil, apples, you pick it.
Listen, let me tell you something. When I was in college, it blew me away. I walked down to the room. These dudes had a 2-liter bottle and a garbage can, and they filled it up with water.
Crackheads.
And they hit the bong. They hit the 2-liter bottle with the thing, and I was like, this is some science right here, bro. Like, y'all been over here thinking. Like, that's people smoke weed all kinds of ways.
Just watch how high you'll learn a lot of tricks.
All right,
I see someone take
Dr. Armstrong.
What's the name? Like the roll from the toilet paper, put a hole in it, then stick weed in like a little erase cap and smoke and then get high. People do anything, Dr.
So we got one last person who hasn't told us what they're gonna do with their 1400. I have a feeling that this dude is gonna go out and buy about 3 or 4 miners, some block eruptors, and he gonna hook them up to a potato to run them. Gabriel, what's up, man? Are you gonna get you a potato battery and some block eruptors? Because I know you all about that mining, man.
It's funny you mention that. Some people get 1400 or whatever just because it's them. I was blessed enough to get $7,000. I gave 1400 to my wife for
How many kids you got?
Oh, I have like I got kids. Don't let this Puerto Rican skin fool you. I got step kids, real kids. I invent kids. My minors are my kids. My minors got social security numbers, man. I'll do whatever it takes, man. I'm gonna get the government money for the time I gave to the government. I'm gonna get mine. I didn't go to war just to get blown up. I gave you gonna pay me. So yeah, I was going to invest in another miner, but I'm probably gonna invest in an electrician to upgrade my garage. My wife forced money on getting some artificial grass for the backyard, and I project cooling, which I wasn't too happy about, but hey, I did it. It wasn't as successful as I thought, and taking my intelligence, I'm going to do something else on a bigger scale that will be better. But for the remainder of whatever I got left, I'm gonna get some nodes. I'm gonna get some Raspberry Pis, man, and start securing the Bitcoin blockchain and doing the Lightning Network and doing that aspect. And if I earn any residual, that's fine. But I make I just got a notice from my mining pool. They just dropped a couple more Satoshis on me, and we just gonna keep doing it like that. I would love a co-location facility or a facility where I can use lower electricity and bring everybody and say, "Hey, I'm out to make that dollar bill."
Yeah, what about my consulting fees for your alternative energy?
Well, I didn't know those was part of it.
You thought it was pro bono, or I mean, what?
Well, quid pro quo. What can I do for you? You want a hitman? You want something? I got you.
My gosh, listen, everybody, Black Bitcoin Billionaires, everybody was streaming live. We don't have hitmen in the Black Bitcoin Billionaires. This dude Gabriel is his first time up. We have no clue what he's talking about. I just want to make sure you guys know that. Supported by
talking about James Brown hitman.
Supported by Exodus. All right, listen, everybody. We are at the halfway point, and you know what happens at the halfway point. We start opening up the stage to everyone who's in here. This is the Black Bitcoin Billionaires Club. This is the Genesis Block every Monday at 11 a.m. I seen that we just brought up my man Corey from Swan Bitcoin. The CEO of Swan Bitcoin just came on stage. What's happening, Corey? Please raise your hand if you want to come on stage and start asking some questions and add to this conversation. And right now, this is where my great friend Queen Naja takes it away. Go ahead, Miss Queen. I mean, Miss Queen. Oh, is she here? Miss Naja, Miss
You might
Naja.
be multitasking.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, well, look, take it away, sister.
All right, sir. Thank you very, very much. So we're gonna go ahead. I was training. We got a new employee here today. I'm so excited. So anyway, sorry about that. We're gonna go to Facebook right first.
Yes, ma'am. We can go to Facebook first. And the question is, how do I get access to Clubhouse in this discussion? What you need to do is when you come into Clubhouse, first you need to get an invite to Clubhouse. Once you get into Clubhouse, you just look up in the search bar, Black Bitcoin Billionaire. When you find that, just click on it, hit join, and then the next time we go live, you'll be a part of the discussion. So, or you can find Miss Naja, Najah, Miss Naja Roberts, or you can find me, Lamar, or even Bitcoin Zay, because I think all of us are always going to be on the Genesis block, and you will get pinged when that actually goes live. So that's how you can do it on Facebook. Back to you, Miss Naja.
Thank you very much, sir. And next to the stage, it looks like we have a guest today, Mr. Corey. How are you today?
I'm good, Naja. And what's up, Big Mar and everybody? Hey, Zay. How's it going?
It's going incredible. How was your weekend?
Well, I'm bored, Naja. I'm really bored. I'm bored of Bitcoin 57, 58 flat for a month. This is just like, it feels like Bitcoin at like 4 or 5K not too long ago. Just like sitting here on my thumbs, waiting for something to happen.
Well, Corey, we're glad you decided to join us today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride, because we love to have fun in the Black Bitcoin Billionaires.
Well, I want to point out that there's a lot of information in what I just said. When we're bored with Bitcoin up 12x in a year, it says something, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It does. So we're super excited, as you can hear from our talks this morning. So we are getting ready to make some incredible things happen. This is the opportunity for us to get our community involved, bring our community up to speed. I'm really actually, Corey, hoping that we stay, if not drop a little bit lower. I know that sounds crazy, but we want more to be able to participate a lot more than we're able to do if the price goes higher. So I'm a little bit excited about what's happening. It's giving us a little bit of stall time so we can do some more stuff to educate our community. So that's where I'm at.
Well, you know me. I just have it set up. I buy every single day. Don't ever care about the price. Even sometimes now, I don't even check until the afternoon, which is amazing.
Absolutely. Well, I agree with you. So thank you for joining us, and we're going to go ahead and bring Shannon up. Shannon, welcome to the stage.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's up,
oh, you know what? I am so sorry, but go ahead, Shannon, and then we'll go to Facebook. I got beside myself. Here I go. Go ahead, Shannon.
It's all good. I came over from Zay and King's wonderful show, and I dropped a couple of bombs in there. I figured I'd talk about it, but to the point of when you guys were talking about institutional management, a good friend of mine is a vice president at a bank, and they're having big talks about digital and KYC, where they're about to start ruling game assets down to Minecraft. So I was talking to Zay and King about this, so I figured you guys would all benefit from that news as well.
Well, thank you for that. That was a nice bomb. Would you like to repeat that?
Basically, the banks are looking at taxing game assets, taxing as much as possible on a digital standpoint. So they're trying to get as much money as possible right now. So I'll drop that inside of the chat in their room, but I think everybody should know about how they're looking at going after KYC right now.
So you said they're trying to tax game assets. Is that what you said?
Yeah, so to piggyback, and I'm glad he said that about the banker friend that he knows, because I already saw this in the news this past weekend, which is crazy. Not the same thing, but essentially They're saying in the next few years, it's already kind of happening. Over half of the world's population will be involved in video games in some form or fashion. So now when you look at some games, now we talk about Fortnite, Call of Duty. In game, you can buy like skins, you can buy Doge, keychains, you can buy all this stuff in the game. And now all of a sudden, there are actually people saying that money laundering and fraud is going on in these games because you can buy, sell, and trade some of these skins and stuff. And as what Shannon is saying is that his banker friend was saying that they're actually going to go in and try to tax all this stuff now, the stuff you buy in games. Like they're trying to regulate money inside of gaming because that is the future. So as the crypto space merges with games, especially when you look at the metaverse, when you're talking about Voxels or Decentraland and all that stuff, and some of the things you're going to see from the gaming sector coming into those things. I mean, Engine Coin as well. We talked about that earlier. The government and regulators are basically trying to put a clamp on all that before it takes off.
CJ, you got more to look up, man.
I'll be doing a lot of research.
Roblox.
That Shannon, I'm glad you were able to repeat that. I knew they'd bite into that and they know exactly how to help us pull that into the right perspective. So thank you for that, King, and thank you, Shannon, for that insight. So Lamar, we're
definitely I appreciate adding value.
Absolutely, absolutely. And whenever you're in Los Angeles, that car you riding in right there, just make sure you pull up and let me have the keys, all right?
Appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys.
All right, Lamar, back to Facebook.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Carla Napper says, and this I know this is for King Bless, man, because ain't nobody else up here talking about no altcoins. What are you looking for in the altcoin, King?
Too funny. So just to keep it simple and short, first thing, I like to look at the team itself. Who are they? What have they done in the past? Are they jumping from project to project every year or two, rebranding? What successes have they had? What failures have they had? I'm also looking at, of course, market cap, the value of that coin, the token price at the time, the amount of circulating tokens. I'm looking at the roadmap, what's coming up, what was coming up in the project. Are they burning tokens? I'm looking at how they released the tokens to begin with. Were they pre-mined? How much did the developers and other advisors get? So those are some like the main, I think I just named like 4 things right there, mostly fundamental stuff, but just looking at that from that standpoint will already put you on the right track versus more than other things you can do.
Thank you, King. Moderator that wants to chime in.
He pretty much covered all the bases.
All right. Well, then next. Oh, go ahead, CJ. Did you want to say something else?
Yeah, I was just going to say, to piggy off that, when he says look at the market cap, what I'll do sometimes is I'll look at like the stock. So for instance, if we're looking at a payment system, I'll look at, well, what are the payment systems on the stock market? If you look at PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, then I'll look in the crypto space, look at that market cap, compare them. And that might be a way to see, okay, this is the potential growth on it. Because in the crypto space, you have very different types of assets. You got utilities, like the smart contracts, you have payment systems, and then you also have like the store of value. So that just might be one way to look at it, is compare what the current market cap is for something and then look at the future. And, that might look at the
Hey, I would also add, I like to look at like the circulating supply and if there's a cap on that supply.
But I like to add one thing. I do have an altcoin that I really like. I think me and Justin like the same altcoin. It's called the Toshi, and right now it's less than a penny.
That's crazy.
So make sure y'all stick around and come. Y'all know, you stick around the club, and we'll have more information about that at a later date. But that's the new up and coming altcoin that is less than a penny. You can get it right now for less than a penny. You can get a whole lot of them. They're called the Toshi. All right, so just one.
I hear the next big Bitcoin. It's a new one.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm into all day. So yes, Miss Naja, it looks like Facebook, we dried out. Here's one of the things I want to say. Anybody that's listening to this in the audience, you know what we're going to start doing? If you do hashtag Genesis Block -BBB or _BBB, hashtag Genesis Block _BBB on Twitter. Ask your question there, and I will get those questions and we'll ask them up here as part of like what we're doing. So if you're in the crowd, you want to ask some questions, go to Twitter and tweet us Genesis Block, hashtag Genesis Block _BBB. All right.
Lamar, what are you so excited about with the Toshi? I'm just curious.
Oh man, I'm excited.
You know what?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. We got to answer some questions, but I'm just super hype about it.
Give me a second. I was just gonna say that, Lamar. You mentioned Toshis and a couple hands jumped up. So, but you are gonna have to wait to hear about the Toshis because we got to take Ricky next on the stage, and then we'll get to you in just a little while, Kyle. Ricky, welcome to the stage.
Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning?
Incredible.
Good. Lamar, what's up on the CJs? When we doing that?
What's up on them? The same thing that been up on them. We still got CJs. CJ's still on the market. People can sell and buy things with CJs. They still out here in these streets.
Do we got a wallet yet? I know I've been asleep.
What do you mean? The wallet been? What are you talking about? It's on Stellar. Every Stellar wallet you can have CJs. A lot of people use Keybase, so you can use Keybase. You can use Lobster. I don't even know any more Stellar wallets, but yeah, you can use any Stellar wallet, man.
I think I got both of those. My bad.
Man, what are you talking about? Man, kick his dude to the crowd, man. Who is that? Ricky Sneed? It gotta be Ricky Sneed. Oh man, what are you
My
doing,
bad, bro.
Ricky?
You know how I be wild to me. I need to stop drinking.
Yeah, he said I need to stop drinking. Okay, that's too much, man. It's too much. We got over 500 people watching this worldwide right now, man. We can't.
My bad.
Yeah, you can't be. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's all right, Ricky. It's all right, Ricky. Anything on Facebook, Lamar?
Yes, ma'am. It's actually on YouTube, which is awesome. King Jeff Joe says, "Where are you buying Toshis?" Should I send them yet, Miss Naja?
It's one person on staff right now, but you can send them this way.
Yeah, make sure you hit up cryptoblockchainplug.com, get the information, and hit her up. She will help you get those Toshis. We did this last time and kind of shut our whole operation down for a little bit, so that's why I'm trying to hold back right now.
Oh, brother. Here we go. It's going to be a wild ride today, but that's incredible. So, yes, Crypto Blockchain Plug. You can call us. We will explain what a Toshi is and get you started. All right. So, Miss Barbara, welcome to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Hey, Lamar, I love me some Toshis.
Hey, that's what's up, Miss Barbara.
Yes. So I love them so much that I tried to go on Swan. And, you know, I put all my Toshis on my Ledger X, okay? So I tried to go on because I wanted to do that dollar cost averaging on Swan, and they want me to verify the address, but it's not the address that I used for my my Ledger.
Oh man,
and I'm a little bit leery about that, so I don't know what to do.
Man, we just had the CEO in here.
I know, I can't believe he left so quick.
He left. He dipped up out of here.
He couldn't sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Let's see. I'm gonna ping him back in here. I told him I'll ping him back in here when people have those questions, because people get on stage every once in a while. Have a question. I'm gonna ping him back, see if he comes.
Okay. And I have another question.
And you can stay on stage till he comes back, Miss Barbara.
Okay, but I have another question before he comes back. I'm on the fence about my stock and, you know, selling it all and buying Bitcoin. How many people out there think I should do that?
Oh man. Listen. I always say this. You know you better than I know you. And here's the question too, Miss Barbara. Are you married?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I always make sure, because what I normally say is, you know your life and your wife better than I know your wife and your life. That's what I normally say.
Right.
Because the thing is that it's all based on your own psychology and your risk tolerance. Because you got to remember that Bitcoin is extremely volatile, but it also has gone up what 200% annualized over the last 10, 11 years. So it's volatile, but it also has a lot of gain in it. And sometimes you have to deal with these deep drops, and that's on you, because some people can't deal with it. You see what I'm saying? If you're the kind of person that can't deal with it, then you probably may not want to jump into something that volatile. But if you can deal with it and hold on, and you understand Bitcoin and why it's going to be worth more in the future, then do what you do. So it's gonna be on you, sister. You know what I'm saying? It's really gonna be on you.
I understand, and no matter what happens, I'm still gonna have my Toshi.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah.
Even if it goes down, I'm still gonna have it. So, thank you. So where's Corey?
I pinged him as well, so hopefully he'll come back in.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And we'll leave you on the stage until he comes back, or if he comes back. So Lamar, back to you on Facebook or YouTube.
I got from Facebook user, which means it's coming from the group, from the Coinda group. It's converting from a coin to a stable coin, a taxable event, and this is probably for CJ. And our taxes deemed short or long-term capital gains like stocks. I can answer the second one, but CJ, what do you think about the first one?
Yes. So anytime you trade one cryptocurrency for another cryptocurrency, it creates a capital gains tax if you hold it for under a year, and it's short term, meaning it's treated as ordinary income. If you held it for longer than a year, then it's long term, and you get the more favorable rates for capital gains if you hold it for longer than a year.
And it is a taxable event, right? When you trade it for stable coins, correct?
Yes. So a lot of times, what you'll do is, if you're a trader, you'll have a altcoin or something like that, trade it for a stable coin. That is a taxable event. And then a lot of times people say, well, what if I trade the stable coin to US dollar? Technically, that is a taxable event, but it's normally $1 to $1. So there's no real value lost or gained with that typically. So technically, it's still reportable. So you still want to make sure that you're keeping track of those transactions, even stablecoin to USD or altcoin or crypto to stablecoin. All of those are considered taxable events. But if it's stablecoin to USD, there shouldn't be an actual tax on that, because it should be $1 to $1.
Yeah, and Corey's back. So Ms. Barbara, you can ask Corey directly.
Hi, Corey.
Hey, Barbara, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good. Just working Clubhouse tech support for Swan, like usual.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have a Swan question.
What's up?
I wanted to do that daily cost averaging.
Yeah.
And I created an account and everything, and I have my Ledger X, and I put the address in, where I wanted to send my my Toshi, and
Lamar got you with the Toshis, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
When I so when it gives me a confirmation. Hold on, let me look at it.
Yeah.
So I have this confirmation, and I confirm. It says confirm your wallet, and it's not the address that I originally started out with.
That sounds weird. Are you sure it's not just like a name for the wallet as opposed to the address itself?
It says if you cannot click the button, it's HTTP whatever confirm wallet, and then it has an address at the bottom. And I'm supposed to click on that to confirm it, but it's not the address that I sent.
Do this. Go to swanbitcoin.com/support and just pop it in there. The whole team's working today. We'll get back to you real quick and figure it out. But yeah, this is not usually an issue. I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Okay,
but,
I'll do that.
Thanks, Corey, man.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry to bother you.
All right.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Thanks, Barbara.
Thank you. All right, Lamar, back to you.
Hey, I love you guys.
Love you too, Miss Barbara. Thank you for that
Love
question.
you too, Miss Barbara. Keep stacking them Toshis.
I will. I've been doing this since 2017.
Hey.
All right.
All right, sister. All right.
Take care.
Thanks, darling. Hope I join you
Bye
again.
bye. Love you. Love you guys.
Love you too. All right, Mr. Lamar, back to Facebook and YouTube.
All right, I'm looking. I'm trying to go to my new space for questions, which is the Twitter that I just told everybody to do. Let me see. I might have to put that on the placard so people can do it. BBB. Let's see what it is. Oh, here we go. Beautiful. B King says, "Is there any logical exit plan for a hodler?" Great question. So, can I take that one? Or does anybody else want to take that one?
Oh, yes, sir. Moderator number one, take a stab at it.
Yes, I would say the exit plan is no exit plan. And what I mean by that is I think in the future, when we get to a point where we have hyper Bitcoinization, where everything's priced in Bitcoin, and also when we get to a certain level where the banks are good with using it as collateral, where you can use it as collateral and you can still hold your keys, I think at that point you'll be able to access the value that's in your Bitcoin by either taking a loan against it in the same way some of these CEOs do with their stocks, or just by using the Bitcoin straight up, because a loaf of bread might cost you 1 Satoshi. And if you have your million Satoshis that we encourage you to have, then you'll be able to get a loaf of bread really simply and easily. You know what I'm saying? So you can just use your coins at that point, and that's the exit strategy, is to actually use them in the economy. But yeah, I think that those two things can actually happen, and I think that's probably what we'll be doing in the future.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I think that was pretty detailed. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to add? If not, we're going to come back to Clubhouse. All right. Kyle, you are up on the stage on Clubhouse. Welcome.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Happy Monday. I was talking with Lamar last week. I guess I'm somewhat of a crypto veteran. I've worked at a few different tokens and exchanges. Is it all right if I tell you guys about a Black-owned project in here? Is that okay?
We don't talk about Black-owned projects in here, but let's hear what you got. I'm just teasing.
A friend of mine... A friend of mine runs Women in Business on Clubhouse, which is a pretty large room. It's got 90 to 300,000 people. And she approached me because she got I guess kind of a deal offer from Rally, which is a token company, where they create social tokens with people. So I worked with her to help launch Women Coin a week ago. And it's gone really, really well. It's public on Rally, their social token. You can look it up right now and see all of it. We're working to try and hold panels, utilizing the Women in Business group here on Clubhouse, and also create an economy around the Women Coin. So I'm kind of been like her crypto connoisseur, sort of expert, helping to introduce it and lead it in being introduced into these different rooms, as well as find use cases for the economy. And sort of publicize it. But she's an amazingly smart woman. She's from Howard University. She lives in DC. I myself, I'm in the Bay Area. I'm a Stanford graduate, filmmaker. And I do a lot of crypto work in my spare time. So I think it's a great project. It's already done really well in the last week. You can look that up on your own time. But I'm curious what you guys think about social tokens. Have you heard of Rally? And this idea of monetizing your influence with social media on crypto.
Here's my question, Cal. How many Women Coin do you own at the moment?
Not a lot, to be honest with you. About $1,000 worth. She has most of the circulating supply, and it's something I do need to figure out with her personally, as far as being an ambassador. I'm not pushing it on you guys, other than I told some friends about it in the last week, and it has 10x in the last week, which is pretty cool. Hopefully people don't pump it and dump it. We want it to keep, continuing to grow along with Rally. They are a Coinbase-backed venture, an A16, like Andreessen Horowitz-backed venture. I think that company, regardless of what we do with it, is going to do very well, no matter what. They just have the financials in place, and they have the connections in place.
Cal, I'm going to just be real with you. You got to be very careful, because you're talking about a company and then buying these coins that are attached to a company. It sounds like a security. And when you start saying it like that, and you're on an open platform and we're being streamed and pushed everywhere, this becomes very odd. If you get what I'm saying, for certain entities, you dig what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to warn you a little bit, because if somebody could come back to this, they mess around and get into some type of coin, and then the next thing you know, they looking for Cal. You feel me?
Right. It's not, like I said, not investment advice. Putting that out there right now. Not telling people this is going to go up in value. Not telling them that they're going to make money on it. Just saying that I have a friend who's looking to get in the cryptocurrency space, and I'm helping her lead this project. Trying to bring value back to the community, trying to give us a piece of the pie, trying to create something that isn't necessarily an investment, but more of an economy where there are real use cases. We're hoping to partner with women-owned businesses over the course of this month, because it's Women's History Month, to empower them using the coins so that they can have their businesses be funded in cryptocurrency. Like if they want to sell T-shirts, or they want their small business to have coaching, all the things we're already doing on Clubhouse with like courses and whatnot, doing that with cryptocurrency instead of seeing it as an investment, I think.
So let me ask you a question, Kyle. Well, I'm going to ask two questions. The second one is totally unrelated to what you said, but why wouldn't we suggest that our women-owned businesses utilize Bitcoin for that same very purpose? Because we know that that's tried and proven, and decentralized, because we're moving, are trying to help our community move into a decentralized currency where we are self-sovereign, we are our own banks. And sounds kind of like when you said it was tied to Coinbase, then I have a whole lot of reserve about that, but we won't go into that. Just curious, why wouldn't she really focus on trying to help her women understand how Bitcoin works and how it can be used in business? We teach a Bitcoin business for businesses every single month, and business owners all around the world are using Bitcoin and not necessarily woman coins. And I mean, I'm not against it. I'm just asking a question.
Sure. I'd be glad to answer that. I mean, I hear your reservations about it being tied to Coinbase, given the way they have interacted with the Black community and the CEO's representation. I mean, they are a investment of Coinbase, but not necessarily like a project that is directly linked to Coinbase. And there's no insider information regarding that. Nobody at the company even knows, like complete transparency. What I would say though is that this is something that me and her, we're both Black business owners, have come up with from scratch. And what I can't necessarily say about Bitcoin or Ethereum is that while we don't know who the creators of those currencies are, we also don't know that those are Black creators, right? So with the thing, Lamar saying about, his currency and then this currency, like if we know that we are creating a Black economy from the ground up, then at least that, right, say you buy into Bitcoin and it does go up, somebody decides to dump it, somebody's not getting rich off of your investment who's already, a billionaire pulling strings. Like whatever, 80% of the wealth of Bitcoin and of stock economies is owned by the same 100 individuals.
So Kyle, you said something really important. Well, if you were standing in front of me, I'll show you my sticker. Satoshi is a Black woman. Let me just make sure we're clear about that. So
7 foot Mexican. 7 foot Mexican.
No, we arguing. It's a Black woman, brother. But because we are resilient, we know how to get some stuff moving, right? But with that being said, Kyle, you just explained almost like Bitcoin, like you don't know who started what you're investing in and what you're starting, because you're not building it from the ground up, because you're building it on top of somebody else's company and platform. So sorry, somebody called me, but you're in the same situation. So I just want, as Lamar said from the beginning, just be careful. And, we're not here to say that other projects don't work or won't work, but just understand too, if you're talking about there are Black coins already going that are recycling Black dollars. So you just have to really take a look at if you know, and I know women coin. I mean, all that sounds good. I tell everybody I'm a recovering coinaholic, but you know, you just have to really understand where the velocity is going to come from long term, and the time that you're going to spend trying to help build or push a coin. The price of Bitcoin is going up, and you're going to still be able to purchase and participate in Bitcoin. However, you're not going to have as much as you would if you had really paid attention to see what other coins have done historically, and where they have led people historically. And all roads lead most of the time back to Bitcoin. So I just put that out there to you, and I wish you well. I'm a Black-owned woman business, and I hear you, and I've thought about starting my coin a whole lot of times. But every time I look at, you know, a whole lot of other factors, it just makes sense to get our people on the right track from the beginning. You know, so I wanted to share that. And if anybody else has anything they'd like to say, you know, I don't want to. Oh, let me say my other question that's totally unrelated. I see you are just got admitted to USC right here. Are you in Los Angeles?
I'm in Oakland right now, but I will be moving to Los Angeles in the next 6 months.
Okay, so when you come down, please, or even before you come down, let's chit chat about your film, your filming skills, because we're looking to do some TV show stuff. So I saw that and was hoping you were here. I'm in Inglewood, right here where USC is. So please reach out.
Absolutely, we'll do that. Great to meet you, Queen.
Glad to meet you too. All right, any other moderators want to talk about Woman Coin, or you all want to move back to Facebook?
Well, I was going to say something, Miss Naja, about, you know, I know Kyle's got this project. He's doing it for a good cause, and he's doing it for that. But the question is, what is the tokenomics? What's the coin built out of? Like, is it a proof of stake? Is it a proof of work? ERC20. You know, what's the technology behind it? How the blockchain works? Is there a good white paper? And I ask these just because those things might help him do what him and his partner want to do by having this information out there so it could be easily read.
Thank you for that question. I've been in a few meetings with them, and you know, I can tell you what I've learned from that. I know it's an Ethereum sidechain. That's what Rally's based off of, and then I suppose they sort of act like a fund where they have all of these creators listed like Patreon, where instead of saying like put Cash App or whatever in bio, a lot of their Twitch streamers will put up their Rally ID and get tokens for that. Which the payment of that is more dynamic than if you were to just get Cash App and like put it in Bitcoin, whatever. But yeah, they're an Ethereum sidechain. I think at some point they might move towards putting everything on their platform individually as ERC20 tokens. That's what I've heard from them. But everything's public. You know, it's on Ethereum sidechain. You can look up all the different creators on their platform. They try and rank the creators and give out, you know, publicly like all the information on like the circulating supply, the support volume, all that. It's all public right on their website, so you can look all that up.
Okay, that's good. So in other words, this is like supposed to be a better version of what Facebook tried with Libra. And how do you see the lessons learned from Libra? And also look at lessons learned from the basic attention token from BAT as well, because some of those are like social aspects, you know, where they wanted gamers and they wanted streamers and social people to try and utilize a specific, you know, tokenomics or whatever for their specific function. I even know Twitter was looking at something like that as well.
Yeah, and I mean everybody's different on there, right? Like they have a lot of different artists. I think like Fab Five Freddy had a coin on there. Bomani has a coin on there. There's a lot of different creators on there. Matty Mo, the artist, has a coin on there. There's not enough Black creators on there, and they need to get more, no question. I guess, you know, where they're coming from at our angle is they see that there's, you know, Women in Business is like a group of 100,000 people on Clubhouse, and, you know, they want to go where the user base is. So that's why they were interested. And we're trying to figure out how, you know, what are the tokenomics behind how we want to create an economy around that user base and get people to feel familiar with using it, and still make it easy at the same time. But yeah, I'm done speaking to that. And if anybody has any advice or wants to talk to me, they can contact me, or like, you know, if they've had any success in sort of like figuring out ways to whatever, create an economy around their clubhouse presence.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. And Lamar, we're going to go back to Facebook because we only have about 20 minutes.
Okay, Facebook, there is nothing right now. Yes, there is. I see it. Miss Vanessa Skeeter, hold on. She says, is there any way to change the address on my Ledger wallet? Did you all hear that? Is there any way to change the address on my Ledger wallet? Anybody want to take that question?
Willingly, not that I know of. I'd have to do more research on that.
Yeah, I guess my question would be, why would you want to change your address?
Well, I think kind of how it happens though. It should change because the way it works right now is that they'll create you a seed and then you use that seed, write it down, and then from that wallet, from what I understand, they use a few of the Bitcoin improvement, the BIPs, right? They use BIP 39, BIP 44, I believe. And so I think that every time you request a new deposit address, it gives you a new address. So I don't know if she wants to change the address or I don't know. I'm definitely not completely aware of what the question is. But if you're trying to change the actual seed, I think you can reset your entire wallet, which of course I wouldn't do, but you can reset your entire wallet and load another seed. Is that correct, Miss Naja?
I got a call that came in, so I didn't hear what you said, but I apologize.
Okay, so yeah, that she asked. Okay, so Daniel, I think is answering it because I've never tried to change the address on a Ledger wallet, but Daniel said you can't change the address, but you should be able to create a new one. So basically, like override it. She wanted to see if she could change her address on her Ledger wallet.
Her address, I'm not sure, but she can change she can reset it and get new seed words.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Someone else said she can factory reset the seed if nothing has already been loaded. She said that is correct. Change the seed. So she wants to change the seed because maybe she lost her seed or something like that, and she wants to still use her wallet. So yeah, I think that's maybe the best bet. I'm not gonna listen. I don't know why you're asking, Miss Vanessa, but you can reset the entire wallet. Just be very careful because if you don't have your seed, if you had some coins on there already, you're gonna lose all of those if you don't have your backup. So
and the way she would reset the seed, Lamar, she would just enter her password incorrectly 3 consecutive times, and then it will ask her to reset.
Okay. So I didn't even know that. I didn't know if you mess up your password 3 times, you're in trouble.
Yes, sir.
That's for sure, yeah. Is that an option or is that a requirement with a ledger where you've only got 3 times to enter it?
I don't know about whether it's an option or requirement, but I know that's what they ask. If you enter it 3 times incorrectly, you have to reset.
And she just said thank you, so we answered her question.
All right, sir. Thank you very, very much for bringing that question from Facebook. And we're going to go ahead and move back to Clubhouse. And next up to the stage, we have Bianca. Bianca, welcome to the stage.
Hey, good afternoon. I just had a really quick question. I wanted to know, do you guys recommend buying directly from buying crypto from a direct wallet like a Trezor, or buying it from a crypto exchange platform like Cash App or Coinbase?
Moderator number 1, please chime in.
I know if you're on a Ledger and you're talking about buying, let's say you're buying Bitcoin on there, I think their fees are a little bit higher than what you would typically find on your exchanges. So you just have to check the fees Now, if you're on a wallet like the Exodus wallet, you know, you can buy $500 worth of Bitcoin, you know, for $1 in fees. Especially if you're doing that from your iPhone and you're using Apple Pay. So you just have to just check the fees and make sure, you know, it's something you can live with.
All right, thank you. That answered my question. Thank you.
All right, was that good, or did you want want somebody else to chime in, or do you have it?
No, I think that's good because I didn't even think about the fees. And I usually do buy from an exchange platform. It's just that I got my Trezor wallet, so I was like, should I just buy it from here? But you guys answered my question, so thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, and next to the stage, Facebook or YouTube. Lamar, anything
yes,
else?
ma'am. I don't have any more. And then my new Twitter thing, we got a couple quick ones, but I haven't seen anything since. So I think it's back to you, sister.
All right, next to the stage, we have Bobby. Bobby, welcome to the stage.
Hi, thank you for having me. I started buying Bitcoin back before I even knew what Bitcoin really truly was. My husband and I bought it as a way just to diversify our portfolio. We had a little lesson there because we sold some of it and long time ago, which is I'm a little sick about it, but we got back in, and since I've been listening to you guys, I have learned so much. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys for this. There was one point when my husband came to me and said, "Oh, let's sell it and buy back in," and I said, "Nope." because of listening to you guys. So I appreciate you guys for that. I did order a ledger. It's been, I think about 3, maybe even 4 weeks now. I haven't heard anything from them. So my question is, I wanted to know, does anybody know what's going on with that? Why it's taking so long? I did reach out to them about 4 or 5 days ago, and I haven't gotten a response yet. So does anybody know, are they really backed up, or does anybody have any answers as far as that is concerned?
Yes, ma'am. So, as a distributor for Ledger, Ledger is on back order. Almost everything is on back order, which is the issue. So they are looking at 3 to 4 weeks, and this happens every time there's like a price surge in Bitcoin. So you have to be patient. We had our last one we sold on Friday. So. But yeah, they're on back order.
Okay, so I guess I just wait. I just have a really funny story I want to say. Like when I first started listening to you guys, I had never heard of a Satoshi. So I was, I heard about the Satoshi Millionaire thing, and I was going everywhere trying to find Satoshis. I was looking on Coinbase, I was looking on Cash App, I was trying to buy a Satoshi. It took me a minute to realize that Satoshis were just part of what a Bitcoin is, but I was trying to buy Satoshis, like just Satoshis.
You can actually do that on Cash App. You can switch the setting to, instead of displaying Bitcoin, to display Satoshis.
I didn't know that. Okay. Thank you. I'm done.
All right. Okay. Thank you for that question. We appreciate you, and hopefully they'll get back to you sooner than later and get your ledger out to you. All right, Lamar, you have anything on Facebook or?
Yes, ma'am. Elise says, I bought a Nano S on Amazon. Is that sketchy? It didn't look brand new.
Ooh.
Oh, that's real sketchy. Don't use it.
Send it back. Use it.
Send it back.
Yep, they're absolutely correct. So let me explain the difference. So when you go, since we're having all these ledger questions, I'll go ahead and jump in. So when you buy a ledger from Amazon, you have to make sure you're buying the ledger from Amazon direct and not an Amazon vendor. There's a difference. So just make sure that you do your due diligence. Because if you go to the ledger site and you go down to the very bottom and you click on retailers, you're going to see an Amazon store, but it's the Amazon store again and not a third party selling on Amazon. and that's how they're tricking people. So just make sure. I would suggest, just like they said, you get your money back for that.
Can I add something? On the when you if you do buy off Amazon, it'll say there's a link to Ledger Store. It says buy BY buy Ledger Store or something like that. It's right at the top, so you know where it came from. But the marketplace, I would never get any cold storage wallets from there.
And even you guys, and I guess I know this is not crypto virgins, but even when you all get your ledger, whether it's from Amazon or whatever, before you even open, not Amazon, Ledger or anybody, I would just suggest you go ahead and really take a look at the packaging, not the actual box packaging, but the packaging that is coming in. Because we had an incident back in January, I know Lamar remembers, we literally had somebody at the post office here that thought they were getting, I think they thought it was like an iPhone because the box looked similar, but they had literally opened up both of the ledgers, but the first one they opened it and took it out, and the second one they just put it back in the package. They didn't try to vacuum seal it or anything like that. So as people become more familiar with what these devices look like inside the post office and UPS and places like that, we're going to have to just really, almost kind of be Inspector Gadget, because we have no idea what's actually, how our packages are coming or who's looking through what. So just try to make sure that your package looks intact even before you open it to get inside and look at your ledger. So I just want to say that as well. All right, so we are going to go to, next up, we have, unless Gabriel, if you want to say something, I know you up here moderating. So Douglas, welcome to Clubhouse. Welcome to the Black Bitcoin Billionaires. Go ahead and what's your question, sir?
Oh, thanks very much. Thanks for having me. I'm speaking from Brazil, and I'm having a very good time with you here, guys. Sorry. Well, since I'm an investor here in Brazil, I like to invest in stocks. I never bought Bitcoin or anything. So I don't know if you guys talk about stocks in here, but if so, I'd like to know if this is a good moment to start investing in stocks in the US. That's what I'm interested in. So I've been thinking about it for a while, and I'd like to know your view on it.
Bom dia.
Bom dia.
Tudo bem?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
All right. Well, Karen said bonjour. Does that mean we are done? Or did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Oh no, he was saying we were just greeting each other in Portuguese.
Absolutely, but absolutely. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss a question that needed to be answered.
Yeah, he had a question about stocks. Douglas, could you repeat your question?
Yeah, sure. It's because I've been investing in stocks down here in Brazil for a while, but I've been thinking about starting investing in the US. So I'd like to know your view, guys, about the moment. Is that a good moment for starting to invest in the stock market, in the American stock market? Or how has it been going there? And what do you think about it, Yeah,
this is not really it's not a stock room. It's more based upon building generational wealth and learning, teaching about Bitcoin. There is some stock, talk in here because we have some traders, but it's more focused on Bitcoin.
I see. Yeah, I could see that. I'm new in Clubhouse, so I was drawn to this room, and I saw people are talking about Bitcoin most of the time. But maybe some people could be like into the stock market, so that's why I asked the question. If somebody can give me your view on it. But if not, that's fine, no problem.
The question I have for you is that what is your purpose for trading in the stock market? Is it for income, or is it for to get investable, to invest? To build wealth, the store value?
Sure. It's kind of a second income. I have my company here. I run a company, so I use the investments in stocks as a second income to generate wealth. So, but everybody says that the best market in the world to be investing is the American market, but I've never done it before. That's why I thought that I could meet some Americans here that could tell me, like, if this is or this is not a good time for starting,
And do you own any Bitcoin?
No, I never did. Well, actually, I don't understand much about Bitcoin. I've heard about it, but I'm not into it. So I think I have to study more before I start investing on Bitcoins.
So that's where you're in the right place. So I can, give you like a little bit overview of Bitcoin, and in maybe some of our stock professionals in here can kind of give you a comparison. But because I don't think there's not many stocks that grow an average of 200% per year, or over the last year that have grown like at least 1,200% over the year.
Yeah.
So that you're at the right place. So do you see that little green house at the top?
Yeah, sure. I do. Yeah.
Please go there and join the club. We do have some stock discussions more as a comparison to Bitcoin, and we have some people here on the stage, the moderators, who are very well versed in that, and they can tell you the comparisons and the pros and cons of each. But we're more about investing and building generational wealth for people using Bitcoin. So if somebody else can chime in, because I know, like Jakumi, you were more in stocks.
Great.
Great.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
hop in. I've been in the stock market for the last 9-10 years, and nothing in the stock market, right? If you compare the stock market to Bitcoin, it's like apples to oranges, right? So it's completely it's a different space. But if you're looking for a store of value, you can't do any better than Bitcoin. And trust me, I know, man. Like I said, I've been in the stock market for a long time, and I've never come across an asset quite like Bitcoin, like ever. And I've only been dealing with Bitcoin for the last year and a half. So you're like Terrence said, you're in the right place. I think you're at the right time, man. The best thing for you, man, is to start accumulating, get involved, do your research, and you can do your research by coming to more of these rooms. We have the Crypto Virgin Hour. That's going to be coming up at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do that every day here at the Black Bitcoin Billionaires, and we have a lot of other rooms where we're discussing, the value that you're going to be getting. So, get started today, man. Get started today.
Great. Thank you so much. I'll do it.
Well, thank you, man. And you know what, you guys? This is about the end for our live stream on Facebook. So, this is the Black Bitcoin Billionaires Club, and I am Big Mar, and we have Queen Naja here all day, literally today, to help you with your Bitcoin questions. If you are on Facebook, it's so good that you guys tuned in today, and on YouTube, shout out to you guys as well. It's been really, really real. I appreciate everything that you guys have asked, all the questions you've asked. I appreciate everyone on stage for answering the questions. Make sure you join us next week on the Genesis block at 11 o'clock a.m. And like I always say, live love, love life. If you live love, you will love your life. So see you guys next time.